So you clicked on the link because you're thinking of getting your real estate license. Well, stay tuned. Lori and I have somebody who we've been talking with going through the process actively, and we're getting her insight and tips and tricks. So stay tuned. You aren't going to want to miss this interview.
Hey guys, it's Lori and Kaylee with Just Finest Agents, and we are putting out a ton of new content this year all about, how to get your real estate license, how to grow your business, how to increase your commission, right? Which is very important. So hit that subscribe button or that bell as we go over a ton of new information. We have agents reaching out to us all the time who maybe want that support, who maybe want us to help initially take that first step and pay for some of those courses. We partner with agents all over the country, so reach out anytime. We would love to help you get into real estate or make that next step into growing your business. 719-639-3393. Hey everyone, so it's Lori and Kaylee with Just Finest Agents, and today we have a special guest. So maybe we have a lot of people on the show who have done this for a while and we kind of get their insights, but today we have Krzych, and she is just getting her license. She actually just finished her class, and so we're going to talk to her about what that process looked like and how maybe you took that initial step towards getting your license and what that entails. So thanks for coming on today, Kayla. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So you just got into it. So tell us a little bit about, maybe just tell us a little bit about you. Where, we know you're in Colorado Springs, but how did you decide to get your license? Have you always wanted to do it, or where are you at with that?
I am currently a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids. We moved to Colorado Springs 10 and a half years ago when my son was 6 months old, and he's 10 and a half now, obviously. Before we moved here, I worked full-time as a writing center coordinator at Oklahoma State University. So I went from full-time work, which was like 40 to 60 hours, to staying at home.
Yeah.
Whole different world, whole different level of job with a 6 months old. And then since then I've had 3 other girls. Well, the first one was a boy. So 4 kids, staying at home. And the job that I had before at Oklahoma State is not something that I could do here in the same capacity. It's just not an option. So I felt myself, my oldest is in 5th grade. My youngest is starting kindergarten next year. I kind of entered that, what now? What's
the step? Yeah, I remember that.
What is the purpose of my life, and what do I want to do from here forward? That's been on my mind for years as I kind of see my children getting older. We bought our second house 4 years ago, and that's the first time that really working in real estate kind of became an option. Something that I floated with my husband, like, oh, I really enjoyed kind of the process of selling our house. It's a crazy process, as you guys know. It was our second time to sell or to buy a house. I felt like I had a leg up the second time. It was just the first, anyway, but with that experience, it was such a good experience the second time around that I first started thinking, maybe I could do that. I really enjoyed it. And then honestly, I found you all on Facebook, not interested. I'm not buying a house or anything, but I've watched you all for the last year. And I told my husband a year ago, I said, if I ever did real estate, I would want to do it the way they do it, because they do it the right way. And that kind of just sparked over the last year, me thinking about it, never really knowing how to pursue it. And then you all just mentioned that you might need people to mentor or something. And it just got me started thinking about it. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do it, now's the time to really seriously look into it. So long, I'm sorry, that was probably longer than you meant for it.
No, we like it. We like the whole story.
That's what you guys saying you would like to mentor people was the final kick in the butt that I needed to say, go start it, because I can't do anything until I've taken the classes, right? So
Well, and you were very proactive, and we had actually gone from online friends to just talking in person, you had reached out and expressed interest, which thank you. But I do think that it's important because going into real estate, you are self-employed. And so just showing that initial want and drive to me is just part of being an entrepreneur. Like you have to have that want in you. And we've all done it before. So why not be side by side and hear our mistakes? And
I think taking that first step is hard. I think when you
Yeah.
first sit down, like I remember, like I was telling my husband, I think I want to take real estate classes. Like just saying that out loud was like, kind of like, ooh, that if I say it out loud, it means like I probably need to like follow through with that, or I need to like take a next step, or, you know, I think just saying that out loud is like a first step towards that, you know, committing, I guess.
When I first looked at it, they have a 2-week trial period, or it might be 7-day trial period. The class that I was looking at, that was easy, right? Because it's a free trial. I'm not committing. Actually paying and having put forth that my money towards this class, I'm like, oh no, what if I don't like it? Or what if I still have my youngest home right now? And I'm like, how do I do this in the middle of my life? And what if it doesn't work out? It's daunting and scary. I mean, and then
we all have that like fear of failure, I think. And so I think that that's that first step. And I think you can get over that and just say, no, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to, like, if you look at statistics,
I started it and I'm going to get it done.
People who are successful in real estate, it's like 20% are in it after, you know, full 2 years. And so that's a little daunting statistic, but if you have a mentality of, no, I'm going to go into it, I'm going to be successful, I'm not going to fail, I'm going to commit to it. I think that's a big decision and a good first step, you know?
And I also think the other part to that, you know, luckily Lori and I were lucky enough to have each other, but to reach out to somebody, whether it's a spouse or, you know, somebody you've connected with, to kind of hold you accountable to your goals. Like, you know, we had touch base periodically. You were very good about saying where you were at in the process. And I think that's good just for each person, not to pressure yourself, but to have those goals in mind and to, you know, hold yourself accountable for what you set out to do. So
exactly. I mean, I think for me, you know, I know not everybody has a great support system, but my husband was 100% behind it. And he said, you know what, if you do it and you don't like it, what's the harm? But at least you find something that is interesting to you, that is passionate right now. Hopefully taking the classes will fuel that passion. But then also having you all that I know I could text just to let you know, hey, I'm making progress. I remember the first time I texted you all saying, here, I've completed the first course, and you all both responded positively. That was such a motivating factor to think, okay, I'm not in it by myself. I have people who are behind me and supporting me and encouraging me, especially, you know, with my husband. And my best friend is in Louisiana. She's the one who is always texting me, you can do this, because the fear factor is also, I haven't done this before. I'm entering new territory. You know, I have a degree. I've learned it's a whole different, English education is a whole different field in real estate in some ways. It's also a people person and reading people and teaching them and bringing them alongside you. So there are some comparisons, but there were days that I was just down, like, can I actually do this? And my best friend would come in and be like, you got this, you know, you're fine. You can do it if you put your mind to it. And I think the support system is important.
So you made that decision to take the classes. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it. You committed to it. So what are the classes like? I mean, I think, you know, Caitlin and I took them not that long ago, only like 2 years ago, 2.5, I don't know, time flies.
Around there.
Yeah. But so what is it like, and how long was your process, and you know,
and what type of school? Like there's all sorts of different schools.
Can I mention the school name on here? Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I took it through the CE shop, and it's all online. I signed up for their course that includes exam prep. So it's a little additional cost. It's 168 hours, which everybody has to do, but it's at your own pace. It is all, I should say, 99% of it is reading the material and then exam questions at the end. They've broken it down by each course. So there's 6 courses within the main course. That was a little exhausting to me because it was just reading. There were a few little cartoonish videos that I offered advice. I was like, that was not really helpful to watch a little cartoon. I would have rather had somebody talking to me, like a lecture
Right.
option. That was the most difficult aspect of it to me, was just reading. I take notes. That's how I learn best. So it took me a while to just get into my rhythm of.
Yeah.
And
going through
then if you did get stuck on a question with that particular school, was there like a chat, or how would
They
you?
do have a chat feature, yes. I
Okay.
didn't never use that. So throughout the actual lessons, you can answer the questions as many times, and they give you hints, and they have you can open up a dual screen as side-by-side screen and look at your materials. Now for the exams, you can't, but they give you unlimited times to take the exams. They offer different questions every time. That's at the end of every unit. And then at the end of every course, there's 6 courses within the whole class. At the end of every course, you're supposed to pass 75% or better, but you can take it an unlimited number of times. So
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of similar for ours. We did a hybrid course. So we took it, we went 1 day a week into class. This was before COVID. I'm sure it's back now, but, and then we did everything else during the week. But, having a career or having kids at home, it sounds like yours is kind of flexible too. I know, like I would go work out, I'd bring my headphones, I'd listen to the course and answer some questions while I was on the treadmill or elliptical or something like that. But I did love that I could get up when I wanted to without, like, around my kids' schedule or on my work schedule, and kind of do it when I wanted to.
Yeah. And for me, having that one night a week in person, if there was something I was stuck on or needed something answered, I felt like I could at least write it down and have that person. I know Lori knows my type. One of my flaws is if I get stuck on something and I can't understand it, I can't like move on.
yes.
And so that was helpful for me to be able to just.
I do think that is a drawback of the online platform, because even though I could ask questions via chat, it still is not that in-person interaction to really explain something that you don't understand. So I have found myself several times just Googling so much information just to get different points of view. And so you do have to be intrinsically motivated to find those answers sometime with and then also I know that I have you all, if there's something I don't understand. In fact, I'm sure there will be times as I get started that I'm like, oh my gosh, this doesn't make sense. Can somebody help me?
Well, and there's so many apps out there that I know Lori had found a great app that was kind of like flashcards, and we are lucky with the digital
resources.
Resources and whatnot that you can pull. And I feel like whatever app we had found, a lot of the questions on the actual test, they were almost identical. So I do think there's good, reliable sources out there for that. When you, so you're at the point where you are going to get your state test. To me, that was a little bit like, I knew at the end of the class, I had to take a test with the state, but I do feel like completing the course is one step. And then there's still a handful of things that have to be done before your license is already hung. So how are you navigating that? Like, does the course provide some instruction for that, or how are you piecing that all together?
The course has been, every time I start a new unit, they give a reminder about the process. That you will have to register for the exam through PSI. They include a link to their handbook, the PSI handbook, with the reminders of how you complete the process. So basically, I have just read through that the first time and then kind of reminded myself, this is what I need to do. Although, at first I was like, oh, I just take this test. Great. No, I have to get fingerprinted. I have to get my errors and omissions insurance. I have to, there's so many different steps. So it's good to have those reminders.
Yeah. And how long did it take you from when, like, let's say your first class until you just finished, this week? So how long was that for you? I know it varies, but everyone's different. I've had people do it like in 7 days, which is crazy. We talked to someone last week, but some people draw it out forever.
Mine took, from the time I actually committed to the class, it was 4 weeks in between.
Wow.
almost any chance I got. I took mornings as well, especially my kids started school 3 weeks ago. So as soon
That
as they
helps.
school, I would do a little bit and let my youngest play. And then I would do some in the evenings when my husband got home from work, Saturdays, Sundays. It was a lot of effort. You have to kind of be intentional about carving those times. But the good thing about the online platform is you can do that and do it for, according to your schedule and when you have free time. So.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to have you on our team eventually. I know your next step is the test. And so obviously we'll be in contact with you through that. I know that's kind of nerve-wracking, but what are you excited about in real estate? Like why, like, what are you excited about?
I am most excited to get started with just helping people again. That's what I did at Oklahoma State, not with real estate, with writing, with tutoring. I helped students find how to learn how to do something that they didn't know how to do. And I feel like that is buying a house. Some people have done it several times. Some people were like me 10 years ago and you've never done it before and you don't know where to start and what to look for. And so I am that tutor, that facilitator. I'm just so excited to start with people and get them the house that they want to be in, or to help them sell their house to get somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think people realize like the ability to give back in real estate. Like I think everyone thinks of it like as like a sales position. And that is like, I would be lying if I said there wasn't some closings where I'm like, thank goodness that is done. Close that book, we'll put that one away. Right. But there's like a lot of them where I'm like, you know, you kind of grow close to your clients. And like I just went to
it's an emotional journey.
Yeah, they were like, I'm gonna cry. Like a lot of times it's their first home or it means a new chapter for them. And there's a lot of emotion and tears that go with it. And they get to know you. It's kind of cool that way.
Yeah. Well, and I do think, you know, coming from different professions, like you come from a background of helping students. We were in the same boat with education. Lori has a counseling background. And I do think you use all of those skills in real estate. And like Lori said, like at the end of the day, you know, your job's your job, but it is about helping people. And I think that there's most people that want that fulfillment. That's what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. And we're so glad you reached out. And yeah, I think you're going to love it. So keep us in contact with, or keep us up to date, I should say, on your classes. I know you're going to do great and we're excited for that next step. So thanks for joining us today and sharing with us your journey on your real estate classes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.